Don't worry, Mr. Beast, we did not forget about you. We are coming back for you to get cooked. So we last left off with Mr. Beast is that his ex-friend and ex-colleague Ava Tyson was getting fired for some seemingly disturbing allegations about, grooming some kids in a Discord, being a predator, being a CP artist enthusiast, and the optics of this were damning. So Ava decided to put out that they stepped away from the whole Mr. Beast organization, but Mr. Beast said, hey, I'm going to launch an investigation and we are going to get to the bottom of this. Well, the internet isn't waiting for Mr. Beast to get to the bottom of anything because they are coming to the light and exposing him for who he really is. He's been exposed for a lot of things in the last couple of days. Gambling to children, faking videos, having his friends be the contestant winners, people getting injured on sets, different things like that. And it's not looking good for Mr. Beast at all. Now, probably some of the more crazy things that were in this expose about Mr. Beast that's been coming out over the past couple of days is the fact that he is also involved in those nasty Discord messages that had his ex-friend Ava step away from the company. Now, I want to show some of these right here. As you can see, Chris the meme god appears to be Chris Tyson. I believe you kids want some alcohol. Damn, sucks, bruh. Love you too, dad, etc., etc. And we already knew that was a creep. But the reason why that's important to show is because in the next couple of messages, we see Mr. Beast pop up and participate in some of the same nasty actions. Discount Milk says, no, he's not. His penis isn't big enough, I'd know. Mr. Beast, going by his actual name in this Discord, says, no, I know his penis size and it's huge. It's Hayden says, Beast, you're gay. The moment you deep throat that whole, whoa, it's weirdo behavior. It's disgusting. Now we have to understand that there are minors involved in this situation. Minors are the ones that are actively in this Discord, and that's the same reason why we packed up Ava is because of these messages. And all this stuff has been confirmed.
Mr. Beast and Chris Tyson Discord leaks. Mr. Beast allegedly complimenting Chris Tyson's PP size in Chris's Discord server with minors. And it has been confirmed that it is actually Mr. Beast. It has been linked to his official account, as I mentioned.
Now, why this is also weird in the grand scheme of things is because Mr. Beast claimed that he did not know of any of this stuff, but it's becoming abundantly clear to people on the internet that he knows. Not only was he in the Discord with these people making these types of jokes, but he participated in those things. Not only was he privy to the CP artist that was Shadman, etc., etc., he also was sitting in the video that has now been clipped out from the Mr. Beast channel where there's a CP poster on the wall as he sits right underneath it. Now, all this is nasty and weird because Mr. Beast has switched up his whole personality to be portrayed as a kid-friendly content creator. But apparently that just does not seem to be the actual case as to who he is. And all he's doing now is just covering up his past because it's not like he wasn't aware of the actions. Hell, he was participating in them. Now, I do want to say that full Discord thread leak is absolutely insane. Some of the content is crazy and it's quite sad because now, just like they did with our previous video on this channel, it looks like the Beast team is going around scrubbing these things because lo and behold, all that content is scrubbed off the internet, which we know it's not truly scrubbed off the internet, but they're doing their damnedest to try to get all that stuff up off the internet because they have a name and an image to uphold. Hell, I don't even know if this video will make it, to be honest with you. But when I tell you some of the stuff that was going on in this Discord thread was crazy. Like Chris was being called the lolly god, which we talked about last time was a CP artist's excuse for getting their shits off. Or there was even a presumed picture of Chris's penis in the Discord. And then there's this big argument about getting rid of the NSFW channel in which Chris is just going so hard about not getting rid of that channel at all. Mind you, somebody's presenting the idea that there are minors in this chat. It's all weird. Now, of course, all that weirdo stuff is crazy, but we can say that Mr. Beast may or may not have been totally active in this Discord. And really, I'm just trying to think of all the ways that some of the Mr. Beast defenders could come out and cape for him at this point and just trying to say, you know what? I won't even fight you on that one. Because although that is nasty, I guess you could kind of make up some excuses to say why this doesn't involve him at all. But what you can't excuse is some of these claims about him and the contest that he has on his YouTube channel. This is Rosanna, and she has a pretty damning video about what's going on with the contestants of Mr. Beast games on his channel.
Hey guys, so it is time for a video because I have received messages from over a dozen people involved with the current Beast games. For those of you who don't know, Beast Games is a competition show ran by Mr. Beast that will be on Amazon Prime. So the messages that I have received from contestants on the show show are pretty much all telling a similar story. I have personally worked in entertainment and on sets for almost 2 decades, and what is going on here is beyond disgusting and extremely dangerous. I wanted to read you one of the messages with the permission of one of the contestants. I was a contestant until the end. I also didn't accept their hush money. People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though we were promised we would. And it was 100% rigged. They presented it as though the game would be like Squid Games. Basically, a type of game show where all the games are an even playing field. That was not at all the case. All the games were about speed and strength, so only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women and elderly people. To make things worse, men started realizing that they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women. 2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and were dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc., and most were women. We were given maybe 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would run out and people would fight over, steal, and hoard food. Water was scarce and kept running out as well. I had to sit with a bloody pad for 2 days before I could get undergarments and my reusable pads because I'm allergic to regular pads. We were also sleep deprived, only allowed 3 to 4 hours. We all slept on the floor in the stadium in a $10 sleeping bag. I'm not saying it should be easy, but it was presented like Squid Games, where competitions were not biased and didn't exclusively cater to young athletic men. People who went signed up for Squid Games, not for American Ninja Warrior and Survivor. Why else would they cast elderly people on the show? They offered anyone who lost $1,000 to sign away their rights to join any kind of class action lawsuit of any kind. I didn't sign, so I didn't get the money. After this article came out and things started blowing up, they called everyone back and decided to offer an additional $1,000 per person to make up for any of the inconveniences.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like he was running a Hunger Games type show. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this might be the place where I shoot a little bit of bail to Mr. Beast and the optics of the show here. A lot of people feel like game shows that they see on television are real, but let me let you guys know, there is some movie magic or Hollywood secrets that go into all of this. Whether it's editing, whether they handpick certain people, whether they spice the content up for, well, the content's sake, there is some magic that goes behind all of this just to make the optics look better. And I will say this too, a lot of these game shows have been recycled time and time again, have been carefully curated and perfected over the years in order to make it as fair of a playing field as possible. A lot of them are more mental than physical, and some of the physical game shows of like the mid 2000s or whatever the case may be, 2010s, we've kind of gotten away from those because of situations like this, or at least decided to make them woman versus woman or man versus man type competitions. But some of this stuff exists in all sorts of television. Now, that's where all the cape for Mr. Beast is gonna stop in this video. Because to be honest with you, these things about broken bones, stitches, and people not having their medications are not only damning claims, but would make Mr. Beast be some sort of animal or monster if this is true. Now, again, this is all alleged because these are supposed stories and all, and apparently this is a disgruntled ex-employee or somebody that used to work here. She's jealous, as they say, but we'll go into that in a second. But ultimately, the fact that certain things like this could even be spoken about Mr. Beast kind of brings down him from his pedestal of being this ultra caring YouTube guy, especially because all these insurance measures and safety measures that came post filming came from the Mr. Beast crew specifically and not Amazon. And there's probably some validity to this because we know on this channel, us and other YouTubers got age restricted almost immediately after their videos were up, and the appeals process was so short you couldn't even click enter before they hit you back with a response saying that, oh, we're gonna keep this age restricted on a video about a Mr. Beast employee. Now they're trying to say that this Rosanna woman is a disgruntled employee, but I'm here to tell you I don't necessarily believe that to be the case.
But apparently the first video I made about Mr. Beast and his Beast games is being suppressed and restricted on TikTok as of today. It had around 11 million views on TikTok. I was simply telling one of the contestants' stories who talks about what appears to have been a very dangerous and mismanaged set. The video I posted is now only viewable in the US. It is blocked in every other country. I have not received an email from TikTok explaining why this happened.
Now let's keep in mind, she has like 15 million subscribers, so I don't think that she's some sort of disgruntled person doing this for clout. I think she's perfectly okay. And what gives these situations even more credibility is the fact that she's not the only one coming out speaking about Mr. Beast and his game shows.
They eliminated 400 people the first day. Those 400 people, the majority of them were forced by the other team members to be on the specific team they were. Some were just about like physically like assaulted to be put onto one team, which ended up making it like the weakest team, since it was a lot of like elderly people, petite women, and people that just, I mean, they weren't willing to take on 6 guys that were surrounding them trying to take their vest so that they can actually be on that. Mr. Beast is a monster, and the games that he does are really cruel and sick. I mean, there are a lot of updates that I'm going to give. I made a video last night when I was prepared and planning on last night. It's supposed to be $1,000. That's like nothing. It was going to take 4 months to get to me.
4 months?
That I was homeless and had nothing when I went on the show. And I had to buy stuff for wardrobe to be on the show. Many people, they hadn't gotten their medication for like 2 days. Some of it was like epileptic medication, really vital, necessary medication.
Now, again, there's going to be a lot of Beast people that are saying that this is just somebody that's disgruntled making these things up. But these stories apparently have been corroborated by nurses, local reporters, hospitals, and things of that nature who saw this stuff going on. So let's see, not only do you have rigged games, physical disadvantages, but now you're taking away medication from different people. You're having people have broken bones. It's this whole disturbed environment. And then you're taking away underwear and stuff like that from people, pads, menstrual devices, or whatever you call it, in order to, you know, see them through that process for a woman's time of the month that everybody knows. This is somebody who is deranged at this point. And probably some of the most damning evidence in all of this Mr. Beast is some sort of fraud situation is a video put out by Dogpack. Now, it's an hour long, and it's by Dogpack, who was a former employee titled "I Worked for Mr. Beast, He's a Fraud," where he chronicles everything that happened about how they were rigging games and all the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in the Beast industry. Now, I implore everybody to watch that, because not only does it really put into a new light who Mr. Beast is, but it really only packs on how terrible of a person he is, or how fake the persona of Mr. Beast is. Now, again, I don't necessarily think that everything that we see on television or on YouTube is reality, but if you pitch things a certain way, then it can look very nasty when things do come out as to not be true.
Our city is sold out of PlayStations. We don't have any. We have to give away. Are we trying to not sell merch?
So he clearly knows that they're making more money by running these illegal lotteries. Another shady thing he did was constantly suggest that they're doing too many giveaways to make a profit.
My guy over there doing the numbers is like, stop, please. It's like, you do realize every time you give away an Xbox and $1,000, you don't make money. I'm like, oh, I know we're not gonna make money. What are we doing, guys?
And there was just no way they were ever even close to losing money on this stream.
I don't know who this is, but you just got a pair of AirPods. Oh my gosh, we're not making money. Guys, we need to stop giving everyone something.
We've just lost like 7
almost everything that someone's bought, we've put something in their package. I'm not gonna make money.
In 5 hours, they gave away about $50,000 worth of stuff and sold over 50,000 t-shirts. Selling these t-shirts at $42 each, profit margin would be about $22. Also, by my estimates, only 1 in every 1,600 orders actually won a prize. And I guarantee he has real-time analytics on his laptop. He knows they make more money every time he says, "Oh my God, guys, we're giving away so much stuff. We're not even gonna make a profit." Also, they just don't show how winners are picked, so it's probably not actually random.
Now, I will give Mr. Beast this one last piece of grace here. So apparently there are some Mr. Beast defenders that are coming out to defend him. This is from a contestant who got $1 million given to him by Mr. Beast. He says, "I see everyone has been tagging me saying that Mr. Beast did me wrong, when that's not even remotely true. In this video, I explained that we didn't invest when Jimmy said we would, but I also said that Jimmy for 4 straight years kept me financially straight without ever asking for anything. So please stop saying that when he did help me. My experience is not the same as everyone everyone else. And then the subscriber from Mr. Beast's 5 million subscriber giveaway actually came out and spoke. He says, hey, I did not know Mr. Beast before. Essentially, his content has been popping up on his channel, and that's when he had did some stuff and followed him. He starts debunking a whole bunch of the myths, like it's crazy that he was a content creator, or also it's kind of weird that he has a YouTube channel, which, to be fair, everybody has a YouTube channel, so it's not like that's the craziest thing in the world. He even tries to give some claim as to how he could be the exact 5 million subscriber, but he kind of says that's hard to debunk too, and gives Mr. Beast some grace there. Look, honestly, I don't think that this changes anything about Mr. Beast at all. Again, the people that are giving Mr. Beast the money, pushing Mr. Beast content forward, having him be propped up as this great guy in the world, are not looking for any of these things. And to be quite fair to all of this, a lot of these people are adults in these situations. It is a game show. I know they might have been sold one thing and pulled the rug from underneath their eyes, but sadly, that is the way that people are manipulated in today's society, and I don't think that it's right at all. That's just how game shows work though. Now, I do want to say that a good bit of this video has been spoken about from Mr. Beast's team themselves, and it is important to mention that they did send a cease and desist letter, which can mean two things. One, there's some validity to this and we don't want this on the internet, or two, hey, these are complete fabrications and we don't want people to talk about this. I think there's a little bit of truth in everything here. I don't know where I sit here, ladies and gentlemen, but at Chucky on Twitter is somebody who works in the Beast camp and with the Beast team, and he says a couple things that I just want to address right here. He says, I quickly want to debunk some of the info in this video since the guy who made it was on my team. It was my decision to fire him for erratic behavior. He worked at the company for less than a month and wasn't an employee for most of the videos he mentioned to have knowledge on. There's so much in this video, and I want to specifically address him saying our videos are fake or staged, because this is not true, and I was on set for many of those things. Now, what's interesting to me is, okay, you can have a conversation about it being fake, staged, all those things, but those do not address the shady sales tactics that Mr. Beast has in order to make people believe that these things are to be one way and then pulling the rug from underneath them. You can't really explain that. And I do want to say that you should probably read this for your whole self and watch that video in conjunction with one another, because the stuff that Chucky addresses in this tweet is probably some of the milder side of what's being talked about in the totality of the video. But I want you guys to do your own research. Don't take my total word for it. Mr. Beast is a genius. Let me be clear on that. Not only is he a genius from the marketing standpoint, but he's also a genius salesman. So a lot of these tactics are going to be shady. A lot of these are going to be snake oil salesman type stuff, but you just got to be smarter and know not to fall for that super creepy smile that he has in some of his thumbnails. Okay.